What's up everyone, and welcome to part 2 of Dream Desk Setup. I'm so excited to show you guys this new video because if you take a look back at my first video, I was able to show you the base of my whole desk setup, which is my desk. And I was able to, talk to you guys about what the desk looks like, how it works, the cord management that I had planned, all of the other accessories that I was able to get. But for today's video, I'm going to be talking about basically the spine of the whole setup overall. If the desk is the base and the overall structure, then the spine of the setup would be the chair. And that's what I wanted to show you guys. For those of you guys that work from home or spend a lot of time just looking at the computer, whether it's for gaming, for working, or you just do a lot of things in the computer like planning out your life, you'll know how important it is to have a chair that can support your back, very comfortable to sit in, and also adjustable in case you need to change positions. And that's the beauty of an ergonomic chair. So with that said, I want to introduce you guys to the OdinLake ergonomic chair. So if we're going to talk about what really sets this chair apart and why I decided to choose it, I think one of the main things that I wanted to bring up is going to be the wire control mechanism that it has. Think of it as an upgrade from the traditional chairs. Like, for example, whenever I'm at the hospital and I use one of their office chairs, there's really big levers in the bottom that you're going to have to pull. Sometimes they get stuck. Sometimes they're just really tough to pull whenever you're trying to adjust how much you can recline, if you want the chair to go up, or if you want, like the seat to adjust a little bit. Those levers are kind of hard to use, but with OdinLake's L1 ergonomic chair, it has this wire mechanism that basically with a quick click of a button, literally just need to use 1 or 2 fingers to lift it up or push it down. You're able to make these adjustments much more easily, and it's saving you a lot of time, effort, and frustration just because of how easy it's able to be changed in terms of the controls that you're trying to make. With these wire control mechanisms, it's honestly super easy and super simple. Just use 1 or 2 fingers. You can click up, make the adjustments you want, click it back down to lock in whatever adjustment you need. So honestly, such a big improvement from the traditional chair models that have these big levers in the bottom. Really hard to pull. Sometimes they get stuck, but overall, I think with this wire control mechanism, it just makes everything much nicer, much less frustrating, and much more user-friendly. Speaking of which, let's talk about all of the adjustments that we can make with this chair. Right now, I think there's about 3 or 4 different buttons that you can press to control with the wire control mechanism. And with these adjustments, they're all very, very crucial. And I feel like 3 to 4 adjustments with the chair is honestly a good amount of adjustments. You don't want a chair that has a ton of adjustments because you're gonna end up wasting your time trying to just pinpoint exactly what you want, but at the same time, it's not really gonna make a big difference. With the OdinLake L1 ergonomic chair, it really focuses on the key parts of the chair. So let's go talk about that right now. One of the main things that you're able to adjust with the OdinLake L1 ergonomic chair is going to be the back support. And what I really like about it is that it's not just the traditional way where you can recline and then twist it to lock it. With this one, you're able to have specific degrees of recline and then you can lock it, meaning, you're not kind of guessing like where is the best place to do it. The OdinLake ergonomic chair already has these preset degrees of angle for your reclining, which honestly is really nice because I'm able to be supported based on how much I want to lean back without, trying to guess where I should stop it at. It honestly feels much more supported and I feel really safe, reclining back without fear of possibly falling off of my chair. Sometimes it's really important to make these reclining motions just so that you're able to relieve the weight off of the same portion of, like your posterior that you're sitting on. Because if you maintain that pressure at the same pace over time, you could really irritate your skin, you could cause some damage to your back. So it's good to be able to move around and relieve that weight by doing these different reclining options. Next is going to be the seat adjustments. And honestly, there's so much to talk about this portion of the video. First, we have the Class 4 gas lift. And what that basically means is that the gas lift that powers the chair allows you to be elevated, in a sturdy manner so that you feel secure and safe. And it's able to smoothly lower you down as well, where you're not really feeling like a sudden drop or it gets stuck on the way up. It's a very smooth up and down motion. And honestly, one of those little things that you notice and really appreciate that you won't really get from a lot of other chairs. Next, we have the 3D armrest. And with the armrest, it allows you to just move it in all directions. You can move it to the side, you can move it up, you can move it down, you can even move it at an angle going outward or not. Just whatever lets you have your arm in the perfect placement for you to get to work. Again, one of those things that is truly an important detail that people tend to overlook when looking at chairs. Then we also have the headrest. So with the 2D headrest, you're able to move it up or down to adjust to the right spot for your neck. Like if you're taking a look at me right now from this side angle, you're able to see that my head is perfectly rested at the curvature of the headrest right here. So then, I'm able to lean back without my neck being tilted all the way up. And at the same time, I can still look down while being supported by the headrest. So all of these are very important to protect your cervical spine from getting injured just from overuse and having to carry the weight of your head without support. And now moving on to one of my favorite adjustments that you can make with a chair, you're actually able to slide the seat forward and backward. And why does this matter? It matters because with the back of the chair, it has what's called a lumbar support. The lower portion of the chair protrudes out a little bit so that when you're seated, it's pushing into your lumbar area, giving you that support so that you're not hunched over, or at least it makes it really hard for you to hunch over. And because of, maintaining proper posture, it's really important to have that lumbar support right down there. So with the chair sliding forward and backwards, you're really able to fine tune it based on your own body. Some people, they might need some more lumbar support with the chair pushed forward, while others, they can have it pushed back more, and that's where the perfect amount of force is on their lumbar spine. So again, very, very important. And I honestly don't see these in a lot of ergonomic chairs, and trust me, I've gotten a good amount of different ergonomic chairs out there. That is a very important detail that I feel like a lot of people definitely need to look more into, especially for those that might have back problems or, have been on their feet for most of the day and want to sit somewhere that can keep supporting their back without any fear of having bad posture that could make it much more difficult for them to sleep comfortably or to just move around. So it's very important to protect your back. All right, so we've talked about a lot of the different adjustments you can make with the chair. We've talked about the wire control mechanism that makes the chair really easy to use, very user-friendly. Last thing that we're gonna be talking about is honestly just the wheels, how easy it is for the chair to slide around. Right now, my floor is wood, so it's really important for me to be able to just move around without getting my wheels, kind of like stuck on something or just possibly scraping the floor. That would be even worse. So with this chair for OdinLake, honestly, it's been sliding around pretty well. I'm able to easily stand up, move my chair to the side, lift my table up if I do want to have like a standing up option, because again, it's really important to change your positions every now and then. So sometimes I do like to just work in a standing up position. And luckily for me, my desk is also really good at just being able to stand up well. So with my chair, I'm able to move it to the side, tuck it in underneath the desk, and then keep my desk elevated at the height that I want to. So overall, I think the combination of my ergonomic chair with my stand-up desk is perfect and something that I would really appreciate in the years to come as I'm going through residency. Overall, I think the OdinLake L1 ergonomic chair is honestly a really great option for people that work from home, spend a lot of time sitting in their chair, whether it's for gaming, for work, planning out your life, whatever it may be. Also, if you want to save money, I think this chair is definitely for you, and I really recommend that you check them out. And speaking of saving more money, you can use my discount code Luigi P Gonz if you want to be able to get an extra discount for buying your chair. So honestly, I really recommend this for everybody, especially if you have a back problem or want to be able to protect your back in the future because you anticipate working at a job that might require a lot from your back. I really think this chair is going to be the one for you. So definitely check them out. I'll make sure their link is down in the description below and will pop up right here. And again, use my code if you want to save more money. But with that concludes our video. So right now we've been able to cover my desk. We've been able to cover my chair. And the next, we're going to be covering a lot of the tech that will go on top of my desk, including the screens right here that I didn't talk about in the first video. So make sure you're on the lookout for that. And with that, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.